women need to understand this. If you are nice to us, and if you are obsessed with us, and if you love us properly and hard and publicly, we can overlook the icks.
Immediately, I'm calling cap on this, because guys know that doing or being all the things she just described isn't going to make a woman fall in love with them. And when women get the ick about something, it's a raw emotional response, and not something they really have any control over. Of course, being in a long-term and healthy relationship requires love and respect. Worshipping the ground a woman walks on as if she's some sort of divine being isn't going to win you any favors. And if guys go too hard with this, it'll probably be the thing that ends up giving her the ick.
And we will overlook them. We do overlook them. The perfect example of this is Tom Holland and Zendaya. I like Tom Holland, wherever, he's a lovely guy, but we all know that he's way out of Zendaya's league. Like, she is so hot. He's a short king. Obviously, he is very talented, so there's that. But she was with Jacob Elordi.
We also all know that women don't place as much emphasis on a man's looks compared to the other way around. And there's a lot more that goes into why a woman chooses a man to be a romantic partner. And even though the lady in this video kind of slights Tom by calling him a short king and whatnot, the dude's worth about $25 million, and I can only assume that's going to go up as time goes on. While money isn't everything, Jacob Elordi's worth about $8 million right now, which is a lot, but it's not at all like Zendaya downgraded by getting with Tom Holland. Anyway, she didn't exactly say what Tom's ick could have been, but maybe she did when she mentioned the fact that he's a short king.
Who is, you know, so hot, tall, sexy, hot. Jacob Elordi cheated on her on her birthday.
Okay, so that's why they broke up. And honestly, it's not surprising at all.
Jacob Elordi after that instantly goes down.
I can bet you any money though, if he was dating just a regular chick, there's a good chance that she'd just overlook his cheating because he'd be bringing her into a world that's beyond her wildest dreams.
Tom Holland, on paper, pictures, not as hot, no tea, no shade, but he loves her so much. He's always making her laugh. They're always being silly together. He's always bigging her up in interviews, even when he's not with her. Like, he's always saying the best things about her, even like when they were just friends and co-stars. Like, you can tell he's her biggest fan. He's so nice about her. Like, have you seen that clip and they both dressed in red and everyone's like hounding her for photographs and he's like batting them away and he's protecting her? Nothing hotter. And we all love them together because they're so happy and we all want a Tom Holland.
Now, I'm not gonna say Tom's out here slinging his web around, but just because he talks positively about Zendaya in public and everything looks perfect between them, it doesn't mean he's not clapping the cheeks of other women when nobody's looking. This is why I don't like it when people look at celebrities and point to them as examples. When it comes to what a good and healthy relationship looks like, none of us know what things are like behind closed doors, so you shouldn't be so quick to want to follow in their footsteps. Anyway, guys, if a girl's into you, she's into you. You can only put your best foot forward to see if you've got what she's looking for. And if not, just keep it moving.
People are like, Tori, why are you single? I'll tell you why I'm single. Because I don't want to be in a relationship where I'm the only adult.
And unless you're looking to find yourself talking to Chris Hansen, I think we'd all agree.
I've done so much work on myself. And if I can do the work to regulate my nervous system, heal and deal with my emotional trauma, learn to communicate my needs and wants and desires, know how to take accountability and responsibility for my shit. If I can learn how to not shy away and be afraid and run when a hard conversation is needed to be had, so can you. So can you. And I am not going to be the only responsible adult in a relationship with two people. Because if a man is being inconsistent, if he is being wishy-washy and unclear and making plans and then not sticking with them, if he says one thing and constantly does another, then I'm not dealing with a man. I'm dealing with an emotionally stunted, immature, wounded, unavailable, avoidant little boy.
And just going by everything she just said regarding all the healing she's had to do and whatever, I'd say that was exactly the type of man she's been dating until now. It's good that she's done all the work to get herself to a better place, but it does make you wonder what type of men she was dealing with before, and is it only because she's older now that she wants to find a good guy to settle down with? If I was to take a guess, that's exactly what I'd assume.
And I want to be with a man. I don't want to be with a boy. So I am forever going to stay single until that is possible, because you need to be bringing the same energy and effort as I do. I don't work on myself to be the best version of myself, to settle for somebody who is not doing that work or bringing that to the table. So that's why.
There are more than enough good men out there who'd give her what she wants, so it's either that she doesn't know where or how to find them, or when she does come across a man who'd hold it down for her, she doesn't even see him. The kind of man she wants now seems to be invisible to women when they're out there living their best life and absorbing all the trauma that they'll have to work on later. And depending on how in the streets they were, there's a good chance that they're going to bring some of that baggage into your relationship.
A question for the men out there, and you aren't going to like the question I've got to ask. You're not going to like it, but I want you to give me the honest truth behind it, because I found that this happens every single time. Why do men have a particular type and then they go for someone who is literally opposite of their type?
The answer is simple. Men aren't so rigid when it comes to the type of women they like. While we might have a preference for certain physical traits in a woman, it doesn't mean we can't find other things attractive. I mean, if you look at any man's browser history for when he's getting some alone time in, you'll likely notice that he's enjoyed his time watching all sorts of women.
Okay, it literally makes no sense. I have never been with a man whose type is redheads. Never. I have never encountered a man who liked redheads and found me and I was his type to a T. Maybe that says more about me than it does the man, but...
Yeah, I mean, just because a guy likes a physical trait about a woman, it doesn't mean that he'll like her overall, which I'm pretty sure is the same for women.
Why is it they're always into blondes? They are always into blondes, and I just happen to come across them and they're like, you know what, she'll do for now. She'll do for now, and that seems to be the pattern. So why is this? Am I the problem?
Yeah, I don't know what else there is to say, to be honest. It all seems pretty straightforward to me. The thing is, though, this is basic knowledge about men. So it just goes to show how little attention women are paying to what guys want or like.
Did y'all see that viral tweet of the guy that was going on a first date and he brought her flowers and he was like, I'm really nervous, guys, like I haven't gone dating in a while. And all the women were like, that's so sweet, you brought flowers, like good luck, king. And all the men were like, why the fuck would you bring her flowers? Like, women don't like flowers. Are you dumb? Online dating is already a shit show, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that y'all are just paying OnlyFans models to be nice to you, so you can't fucking comprehend what it would be like for a woman to actually like you, because they probably never will.
The reason why men reacted like that is because a lot of them have pulled that stunt in the past, and it never really won them any favors. When guys start dating, their head is usually in the clouds, and they have this Disney-fied way of looking at things. But soon enough, reality hits them in the face, and they see things for how they really are. This is one of those clips that I had to check out the comments section for, so let's see what the good people down there are saying.
I saw a near identical video with the opposite. Women saying gift giving on the first date is a red flag, and similar things. It definitely depends on the person, but chronically online Americans are wild.
I brought flowers to a first date where this girl had bouquets all over her profile. We were at a busy restaurant and I said, "Hi, I brought you something." Let's say she walked out after.
I used to bring flowers, but they thought it was weird.
If it's a first date and he brings flowers, that means he's actually trying, and that makes a great first impression. Like, I don't really care for flowers, but if a guy brought them on a first date, I would be so happy, because it means he put some extra effort than just setting a time and place for us to meet.
To that last commenter, it could also just mean that the guy's pretty smooth with it and knows how to play the game. I'm not saying that is the case, but you know, it's a possibility.
This guy did not like the video that I made where I said a woman is way less likely to sleep with you quickly if she really likes you because she's not going to want to get her feelings hurt and there's more at stake. Whereas a woman who meets a guy and she doesn't see a relationship with him or doesn't want anything long term with him, she's actually way more likely to sleep with you quickly. I personally wouldn't do this because I'm celibate and not into casual sex, but lots of women love casual sex and good on them if that's what they enjoy. And he says, your attitude about sleeping with non-boyfriend material before someone serious is something that I think most men would have a problem with. Wait, most men would have a problem with women who act like men? Because the majority of men in the dating pool, as we are constantly told on social media, put women into one or two boxes: wife material or good time girl. And if you are just the good time girl, the guy doesn't give a shit and he's just going to sleep with you with no effort and he's going to do it pretty quickly. So it's fine for men to do that, but you don't like it if women do that? Add it to the list of 1,000 double standards in dating for women.
The thing is, if a guy's really into a woman, he's gonna want to sleep with her quickly too. But whether she gives it up or not is another matter. And I get the whole thing about a woman not wanting a guy she likes thinking that she's easy to get into bed or whatever. But sometimes it can come across as her just not being that into him, because that's how women tend to treat guys they might be seeing but have some apprehension about. While it might happen, it's definitely not common for a guy to meet a woman he's really into but not want to sleep with her because he doesn't want her to see him in a certain light. So I'm kind of confused as to why she's comparing these two things. Men will clap the cheeks of a good time girl just as quickly as he'd clap the cheeks of someone he might consider to be wife material. So what am I missing? I guess you guys can enlighten me in the comments.